Hi, this is Steve from Soul Journey, and today I'd like to go over some not frequently asked questions. So I always get the question of like, what got me here? What did I do? How did I, whatever backstory is. And one of the things I want to talk about instead is what keeps me here. Here are some things that you may not know about massage and bodywork. First off is my background is instructional design, and I love asking questions. And one of the things that I've realized is no one knows that much about what actually happens in the body. So whenever you start working on people, when I started working on people, I really came into it from an anatomy perspective. But when I got here, what I found is that we are an amazingly complex machine. Like it is absurdly detailed in ways that we never learn about in school. Like I could tell you the quadratic equation, I could tell you all kinds of things, but I can't tell you exactly where my tongue connects inside of my throat. And so when I'm having chest pains, is it really just a tight muscle or am I actually in distress? All I know is chest pains are heartache or heart attack. So when I started working on people, obviously, I worked on Pepper a lot. I started seeing healings that didn't make sense. I started seeing people recover from things that were not in their initial plans. Like I had people that were, initially, like there were times they couldn't get on the table hardly. Like I was having to like hold their arm and they were holding my arm and they were getting on the table and then we would take a rest and they would breathe for a minute just because they were tired of literally getting out of their recliner and getting onto their table. And then I'd give them a massage and we'd do some breathing and we would do some stretching and we would do some intention settings. And these people transformed before my eyes. Like I got to see people going from that state of I was really concerned about whether or not only are you going to rebook for next month, but are you going to be able to rebook next month? Like your health is kind of sketchy. Later on, these people are out doing backflips at a jump park. They're riding bicycles. They're going to the beach. There's a person I know that's on the Appalachian Trail right now. I'm sorry, the Pacific Coast Trail right now. That's a client of ours, and I get to get these updates from like Mount Shasta with a person on a motorcycle, and you're just like, yeah, hell yeah. I don't know exactly what part I played at the time, but I'm part of that journey, that building people up from the inside out, so to speak. So I've seen that part where the body heals. I've seen some scars that have faded completely down people's bodies that look like nothing ever happened. Like I've had people send me pictures of their scars to be like, can you believe this? Like I see other people with my same type of recovery surgery and I look nothing like them. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to call it. I don't know. And so, and some of that, it's all about mindfulness and intention, but it's a mystery because it's not consistent, which is the weird part. It's like whatever happens inside their soul actually happens outside of their body. The other piece is, I've been part of, all I can describe it as is like an old school exorcism. There's a massage technique that I learned through one of the things that I studied, and you do some abdominal work on an individual. And abdominal work is essentially just resting your hand on someone's abdomen, like very gently, and then getting them to breathe into it and lift your hand, and then they exhale. And that's how it begins. And it's through the sheet, so that way there's no like direct skin contact. So I'm not actually even touching them, so to speak, but just that piece there, and reminding them that in certain schools of massage, there's the concept that this is your core and that this is where your hopes and your dreams and your joys and all the intense emotions, from betrayal to pain to anguish to fear to anxiety to happiness and everything, all lives right inside here. And what we do is set some intentions on how do you want to feel and how do you not want to feel maybe, and we breathe through it. And what I just saw with someone was like the full-blown, like right out of a movie, like their back arches and they're like off, like one person leaned off the table and they were like, ah, and it was like, and they had zero recollection of this. They laid back down and they moved on with life. And here I am sitting there, I'm not scared, but I'm startled. Like I was not expecting that type of emotional, energetic, visceral, physical, like release to happen there on the table or the tie mat or any of these spaces. Literally, I'm just like, okay, so breathe into your joy. You want to feel joy? Find it for a moment. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And you would see things open and unlock, and those people are changed. They get off the tie mat or they get off the table and it's like I kind of want to ask them, do you remember that? Because I'm still processing, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they literally are having a conversation, the thing happens, the breathing out, or the exhale, or the tears, or the joy, the laughter, the insane laughter that comes out, and then they pull it back together, and then they pick up their conversation where they left off, and it's as though this never happened. And so I've seen this over my last 8 years in practice enough times that now I'm okay with it. Energetically, I'm okay with it. But it's hard to explain. I'm not going to offer this as, hey, would you like an energetic release here? Because it's not appropriate to offer that out there. We do offer the opportunity for people to get in touch with themselves, and then whatever happens, happens, but yeah, you don't learn that in massage school specifically. You learn how to access the points, but you don't learn how to deal with those pieces. So that's what keeps me here. And so through this, I have learned so much about myself, about the human body, about the human psyche, the human spirituality pieces. I'm Christian at my core, and you can't be a firm believer of Christianity in the books of the Bible without actually understanding that there are energetic forces in this world that inhabit some of our bodies. That's exorcism is part of it. Jesus did it. All these people did it throughout the history. And to ignore that whole side of the world and say it's just anatomy, like about 99% of it is, there's a lot of it that is just anatomy. But then there's that other piece that is definitely out of this world type stuff. And that's what keeps me at Soul Journey is just whenever somebody books my intuitive session, I don't know. I'm going to put my hands on their body, and we're gonna start working. And sometimes we stop at a knee, and sometimes they go up to the throat, and sometimes we just go to the places. And I'm like, I don't know why, but I'm drawn to your elbow and your shoulders. And so we're going to work there for a minute with some hot towels, and things happen. People are changed. So yeah, it's very fulfilling at the soul level for what I do. So I'm hoping that makes sense. It's a not frequently asked questions because I get tired of asking about where I'm from, and I get tired of answering the questions about what's my background and where did I learn this. And it's like, well, I learned that at one point, but over the last years, dude, I've learned that here at this table. So yeah, thank you for listening.